No one's on, so I'm going to start the music, and then I'll say I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd work for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, where the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, oh, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, and New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say, oh, and I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me, and I'd rather stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. God bless this country. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless, please bless the USA.
Wow, 73 people on while I played the song and did the pledge. Guys, I wanted to get started on time tonight. I want to get started a little early because we have some things we need to cover, and we need to cover them right away. There is quite a bit of information, good information, bad information. Take it however you want, but you know, this is usually a time that I would start talking about the children, but I have some other things I need to get done first. And you know, we changed the format a while back, and in changing the format, we went to the two things I've already done, Pledge Allegiance, which if you missed it, don't worry about it. And the song, and I don't know how many's going to be on tonight, because I did see where Patriot Diane with two N's had posted that Wolverine was going to be doing a major show tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern our time, something like in the afternoon his time. But I wanted to touch base on some things, and I want to say prayer. I want to say prayer because we have people that really need prayer today. Dear Lord, as we come to you tonight at the beginning of the show, we come to you, Lord, because our friend Nancy is worried about her son Andrew, who's in the hospital getting test run. Lord, we're going to ask you to look after Nancy and her son and the family. going through these trying times. We're going to also ask you to look after Cindy, who's having some health problems, but also Cindy had to take her roommate last night to the hospital, and she ended up spending the night. There's a lot of sickness going around, Lord, but it could be healed, and it could be healed quickly. And we're going to ask you to help us get to where we can get rid of all this sickness. We're doing such a tremendous job with the children, getting them where they need to be. And Lord, we're going to ask you to look after each and every child. I will be talking very soon, Lord, about the children and to the children. But we want to come to you tonight and ask you to look after 100% of all children to where they can have the happiness and joy and love that they deserve. Lord, I wanted to ask you to look after all of the people here on the show tonight, all the people in the group, and even the people who may not like us, but we still care for them. And we look for support from you to help everyone get through these trying times. This bitter cold that we're going through is just unreal. We had a halfway decent day yesterday, Lord, and now today, I think it's the coldest day of the year. We just ask you to look after all of us and keep us healthy and strong so we can come and turn your world into heaven on earth as you have planned for many, many years. Take care of the bad people and have nothing but love and kindness living on the earth. And we pray to you through your Son, our Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen and amen. Nancy, I'm sorry I did not respond earlier. I wanted to come up with a good prayer for your son. I didn't want it to be impersonal. I wanted to let you know that our group cares for you. And we care for your son. And hopefully reading, I'm going to go up here if I can find it. I'm going to go up here if I can find it. And here's what Nancy said today, guys. She said, hey, everyone, I'm asking for prayers for my son, Andrew. He's 24. He's at Beaumont Troy Hospital. He had blood work done, test scans. We're thinking having temporal lobe seizures. But it's almost impossible. You got to catch it when they're having one. And then she goes on to say what they're going to do. Nancy, to give you some hope, the same thing happened to both of my nephews. Both of my nephews, the same thing happened to. And now they've outgrown it. They got put on medications. They grew it, and everything is good with them now. Guys, I have a phone call coming in, so give me a minute. I have to take this call real quick. I'll be right back. I will call you as soon as I get off my show. I just started my show, that's why I didn't answer. I will call you back real soon. Okay, everyone, I apologize for that. That was my granddaughter, and I thought maybe there might have been something up that, because she's the one that keeps track of the shows, and she knows that I don't answer the phone at this time. And not only did she try to call me, then she tried to video call me, and I thought there might have been something wrong, but seems like everything is okay. I told her I would call her back as soon as the show was over. So that being said, Nancy, finishing up what I was talking about, both of my nephews, as a matter of fact, my one nephew, my oldest one, Ray, the oldest son of the gentleman, my brother-in-law who passed away recently, he literally had one of these seizures while he was in the water swimming. And I'm not talking a little swimming pool in your backyard. I'm talking that big pond that I told you I want to rebuild and redo the thing, part of my rebuilding Buckingham. And if it wasn't for some very, very fast actions from the lifeguard, we would have lost him that day. So keep your hopes up. And, I know everyone here tonight, there's Mike here and Karen and Jana and, Bill, Jeffrey and Rainbow and all of the people here is going to keep you in prayer. And I know Brian and myself will promise to keep you in prayer even as we move farther. Just keep your spirits up. If you need to talk to someone, come online. And, I know people is willing to be there. Like the song said, stand by us, stand by me, stand by me. But anyway, now that I've got, the prayer out of the way, and I hope I comforted her as much as I possibly could. Today is Michael's birthday. Happy birthday, Michael. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, my friend Michael. Happy birthday to you. And as you know, our minister used to say, and we hope you have many, many more.
Grandma Bo made it on tonight.
Grandma Bo made it on tonight. Grandma Bo and Ron had a very, 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 very good talk today, he told me. That's good. So now where do we go? Let's see. As I said, we have a lot, guys. And you know what? I want to get right into it. I want to talk about to the kids real quickly. And it is going to be a quick talk, guys, because I have a lot and I'm not supposed to be on that long. And I had a great day today as far as things happen. But I want to talk to Super Jimmy and just tell him all of the great things that is coming out about the beds and the little Patriot 11 who I think the world of all the kids, but when you actually had interaction with these kids and talked to them on the phone, which I have Jimmy and him, a lot of them I never have, some of them I have and they're gone now, but I just love every one of these kids. Me and Ron talk about them all the time, and Patriot 11 with your friends, just enjoy life. I mean, I don't know exactly where you live. I know Grandma's probably in Arizona now, and she's sucking up the sun. And right now, it is so cold here. I took this pop. I took this pop and set it hot, room temperature, outside on the front porch here at Ron's house for less than an hour. And you can look and see it has ice in the bottom of it. It is cold. I told my son I think it's the coldest day of the year so far. And he said, no, he thinks I think temperature-wise it was. But we're now down under zero again. But we also have like 20 to 25 mile an hour winds. And it's got a wind chill out there of like 30 to 40 below. It is so cold that when I went down to get my tablet for the show tonight, it is so cold that, like I said, I put the pop out. I've already showed you the pop. But I let my little dog out to go. Got to go to the bathroom before we get in the car. That'll be good. She was limping. I had to pick her up and carry her and put her in a car because her feet was freezing. It's that cold out. This is too much. It's time we change things. And I'll get into that. I should not have came into that part talking to the kids. But, Wyatt Earp, you and Karate Kid, just treat your mom like the queen she deserves to be treated. And speaking of queens, we have a little princess who's a ball player and our queen. And I came across your picture the other day, sweetie, and I just can't see how anybody could pick anybody over you in a contest. I mean, I'm going to stop there because it's not fair, some things that happen. But then we have Hunter, our hunter and our ball player, and from everything I understand, how cold is it, Ralph? Well, it's cold enough that when I went out, the snot in my nose froze. Does that tell you? I tell you what, it's cold enough that I'm glad I finally live in a house again that's got indoor toilet, because there's no way. I mean, I had to do that as a kid. There's no way I'd go outside in this to sit in an outhouse. It is cold. 24 is like a heat wave. I wish we could get it up to 24 in a house. No, I'm joking about that, but Boogaloo and Boogaroo. I haven't seen if John's on tonight. I'm sure he is. Kevin's here. Boy, Kevin's here a lot. Jeffrey, and if I mention your name twice, don't worry about it. Bill Woods is here, and Mike and Michael and Ann is here, and guys, I try to mention people's names, and I'm going to get into a little bit of that in a few minutes, but Boogaloo and Boogaroo with Grandpa John, and Mike, with little Leona, with her great grandpa, and then my grandkids, Patriot, a super gymnast who has been trying to get a hold of me, and then you also have Patriot 7, and it was funny. He came home tonight, man. He put his his hunting gear on. He was gonna go out and shoot his bow, and he had his face mask on and everything. I said, "You do remember it's your night to put the dog out," and he didn't like that. But I keep it straight. When it gets a little warmer, if the dog really needs to go, Kevin, you can keep the 50 minus 50 up there, man. Really. I mean, I would say wind chill right now, we're between 30 and 40. And, but see, we got the snow too. We're over at my daughter's house. They got a dusting. We got snow, and if it wasn't for snowplows, I wouldn't have made it down to Ron's house today. And when I got into his yard, I'm not going to go out. I'm going to be 70 years old soon, and I'm not going out shoveling snow to get in his driveway. So I pulled in and I backed out, and I pulled in. I knocked it down, but then he sent me a message and said that the snow truck went down the road. Otherwise, there's roads that's going to close tonight around here because we have the laziest people when it comes to cleaning the roads off. I'm telling you, they do nothing all year, and then when it snows, they still do nothing. What is their job? I mean, I don't know. But anyway, Patriot 7, he was all humped up, but he had up taking the dog out. He didn't mind, and it was cute because the dog, they rent a lot across the road, and they take the dog over there to walk them so they don't dump in their yard. And it was funny because the dog did not want to stay out long. And as soon as they got across the road, he decided to go. It was kind of near a sidewalk. And he didn't take his pooper scooper or his bag with him. So it was kind of funny because you see him down covering the poop up with the snow. Now he'll go back and get it when it's time because they keep it clean over there. But it was just funny watching him. And then you got the other Patriot, Small Hank and Patriot, Little Monkey. And I babysat her today. And she actually got me to read. Guys know how I like to read. And she got me to read her 2 little books and that. And it made her day, so it made mine. And Patriot, Kira, I just had to hold while Daddy was getting her supper ready. Because, boy, I tell you, she's not like the boys, my grandsons. The grandsons are so finicky as eating. Man, you put food in front of that little girl, and it's gone. And I like that. But, then Patriot, little Leon and that. But, kids, we got so many great things coming. And the more and more I've heard the last couple of days, it's just unbelievable more and more. So we love yous, and we'll talk to you Monday. Diane, Patriot Diane with 2 N's just sent this. Wolverine chat notes from January 19, 2024. Hope you guys are excited as I am. We are definitely close. I receive incredible info from various platforms saying they are just waiting to get the green light to receive funds. We will be celebrating anytime. If we should go today, we will not get funds released till next week. D1 is done. D2, hoping to get done today. The big end should be happening around Sunday, and hopefully we will get the announcement at our time of the special beds. MAURICO is under NDA. Lawyer said the funds are to be released in Reno. I want you to remain in faith. This is going to happen. That is just one of many, many things that happened today. Now, I took some notes, and I hope I can read my writing, because in the past I've had trouble, but I just gotta find it here. There was a lady, I was sent a video today by Patriot Savior, and during changeover, even though we have eliminated the Federal Reserve, it might run simultaneously side by side for a short time. You have to remember, this is changeover, folks. Everything is not going to just fall into place. It's going to take time. During the changeover with the new system for a while, everything we are doing is in a transition. People ask, why are we going to the bank for the revaluation? Because it's in transition. The QFS will kick in, but it takes training. We just can't stop everything. We have been doing this. It takes time. Just, in other words, she wants you to emphasize it takes time and training to get this done. So some things with the banks and the other things are going to be running, in accordance. But when it's all ready, then we'll just, you might not even hardly notice it. It's going to go into such a, wow, we had 162 people. I know the schedule for the rollout. The plan to do this, things to make announcements for the use and the, okay, what she's saying, the first thing coming out is going to be the big end. When the United States and the 209 countries are ready to go gold back standard, that's going to be the first thing that comes out, is announcing the gold back standards. This will be announced on mainstream media because they will be doing what we tell them to do. Next item, debt forgiveness. That deals with banks, student loans, all credit cards, everything will be, that had anything to do with stuff like that, will be forgiven. The reason it will be forgiven is it was all occurred illegally. There are over 200 programs within the Big N and Big G. Over 200 programs. So just in case something doesn't get taken care of, such as retirement age. And she lists that the seniors 60 and above, because this isn't Social Security, guys. Seniors 60 and above will receive $5,000 a month. Disabled, whether they're veterans or disabled individuals, will receive $7,500 a month. Universal income, everyone will receive $1,200 a month if you can prove you have a job. But even if you don't have a job, if you're someone that takes care of someone so you can't go out and work, you'll still get the $1,200 a month. Now, Here's what I said. This was the one flaw in the video that I noticed, because guys, if we get on the beds, there's no excuse. There's not going to be people, unless they decide, even if these people, because there's going to be people that's going to get on the beds. They're going to get on bed 1 and 2, but they may be 80, 85, their loved one gone, and they may choose not to go on bed number 3. So if that's the case, they may still need, they're still going to be 80 or 85. They still need looking after. Just because we have this amazing, wonderful beds does not mean everybody will be, they'll be healed, they'll be healthy, but if you choose not to do other things, they're going to need help. When this happens, as we all know, and we've discussed this several times, there will be an election within 120 days. Now, elections will not be like we think like we're used to. We already know that the election in 120 days, we know who's the winner. We know, guys, we know. You just have to remember, there is a program. There's, 200 programs out there of ways to bring money to all of us. Just because you don't qualify one way does not mean you're going to qualify somewhere. The part of someone not having money, someone not being able to do things, that's gone. Everybody will have money. Will some have more? Yes. Will some have less? Yes. The thing we have to put in, the IRS was part of the cabal. That was their way that they could steal us blind. That's done. Will it continue to run for a while? Yes. But remember, it's a transition period. Now, as far as the money, seniors are supposed to get a lump sum. They're going to get it. They're still hoping that all of this happens this month, according to this lady. This money, they want this to happen this month. But the seniors are going to get a lump sum. The other people are going to get like we've taught. The other two groups, like we've taught. All debt is going to be forgiven. Someone had asked this lady, but what am I going to do about my debt if I'm only getting $1,200 a month? Well, then you need to get out and get a job how can anybody sit there and say, well, I'm only going to get $14,400 a year given to me free. What am I going to do about other things? Well, first of all, you have to remember, and this is what we have to get through our heads, guys. We have to get it through our heads that we're going in to a new world. Nobody's going to be left alone. Where we go one, we go all. All debt will be forgiven. So if you have a house payment, someone says, well, what am I going to do about my house payment? You're not going to have a house payment. What about my credit card debt? You're not going to have credit card debt. Well, I went to the doctor's the other day and I got a big hospital, but you're not going to have that. Guys, all of this stuff that they've ever charged interest on you on, it's illegal. It's illegal. Just sit back, wait for it to happen. Property taxes. Now, it's been said that the property taxes go as each state individual goes. But let's face it, and I'm not saying this, and I'm going to say, Bill Woods, what if he becomes governor of his state? Curly, what if you become governor of your state? And I don't even know if you're going to call it governor or if you're going to be called the person in charge. Because you have to remember, the amount of people in your state working, the amount working is not going to be probably 1/10 of how many now. Gone are the days that people decide they want to be a politician and steal from us forever. They're gone. And if people can't understand that, you might as well say, they're gone too. Thank you for taking care of that. I don't know what they said, but it must have been one of our friendly visitors again, But, we just do the shows how we do the shows. But thank you for doing what you did. Correct. Myrna says, remember, if things don't go through the way you would like it to go through, the point is we need to believe in God and not the money. And that's true because he has a plan. And as I was watching another video later, and I don't remember what the video was, but I remember the person said, if you're not getting what you want, if you think that there's some other things, don't call on the people. Don't say, well, you're cheating me, you're doing this, you're doing that. Call on your Lord and Savior. Call on God. He's the one that chose the hat. He's the one that's doing this. And guys, I'll say this. I've watched many, many shows. And I don't see people calling the hat out. I do. I do it for you guys because we deserve some truth. And I know, unlike one person that used to be on here said that he used to come on and watch the shows. He doesn't. Probably never has, but that is not important. What's important, the veterans, especially the Vietnam veterans. You know, the people who have been dumped on for years and years and years. It was not our fault we had a man who had a lot of power, who was running illegally things that now in some states they're legal, other things aren't, but there is one particular thing that's legal. And he had such a business going, he could not afford for him and his cabal leaders and members to let the Vietnam War end. You know, if you've never lost anybody that was dear to you, that you cared for in that war or any war, you know, but the veterans, this lady said, will be the ones taking care of the most. She went on to say a few more things. She did some questions and answers, and she's very good. Wow, 181. Now here we go, 181 people on here right now. Huh?
We'll have 40 tonight.
But I'm going to tell you, 10 minutes after the show, when me and Ron go check it, we'll probably have, Ron says 40, I'm going to say 52. But it doesn't matter, guys, because numbers has never been a lot to us. I had a lady today I was talking to about the show, and she says, well, with that kind of following, you should be making some really good money off of advertising. I said, that's not me. I never wanted to make anything. And, you know, I'm going to be honest with you. I told someone something today that I wasn't going to tell anybody. But I've been getting a whole lot of criticism. I don't care, you can criticize me all you want. But criticizing the fact that I'm nothing but a liar, I'm nothing but this. And, you know, just a lot of emails. and I thought of two things. One, I thought about closing my email account down. But, you know, that's not fair to the people who send me great emails. And then I thought about maybe I've run my course. The 5th of March will be 3 years. Once I did the first video, sent it out to 12 people. It eventually turned into almost 20,000 members. But through some adversity, we went down, and then through some more adversity, we went down. And last I checked, we're a little over 1,550 followers. And yeah, I could be making money, but that's not me. But what I was trying to say is I had actually considered, and as I tell everybody, I talk to God every day, sometimes 2 and 3 times. And I was literally considering shutting the show down, shutting everything down, keeping in contact through Messenger and that with people, through emails and that with the people. And then when the 800 numbers, get them to everybody, and we could work if we want to work together. But going through the health problems I went through, I was literally beaten. And the other night, I come real close to making a decision about shutting down and just walking away from this. But I had my talk showing 199. Wow. I had my talk with God and I said, I need a sign whether or not I should. And that night I went to bed and I laid there. I couldn't go to sleep, but I couldn't think of anything else but the very first show I ever did. For an hour, I laid there and I couldn't think of anything else but the very first show I ever did. And in the very first show, I said, Lord, God, if I only touch one person, if I only help one person in this venture that I'm starting, it's a success for me. And I think I've touched many more than one. And I knew that was my sign. I could have thought about anything else. I could have thought about the White Sox. I could have thought about the Bears. I could have thought about the girl in the Ukraine. I could have thought about anything. But for an hour, all I could think about is that one saying, if I only touch one person. So I made a decision, and I told this person today in a message. I said, don't tell anybody. But then I decided I was going to tell everybody how close I was. But I'm not going to get that way again. My health is back. I do. You're right, John. I'm not leaving. I promise you. But I wanted you guys to know that I'm seeing tonight a lot of people's getting deleted. Now, we haven't been deleting people for a long time. And boy, the names that they're coming in here with, oh my goodness, who do you think is doing this, guys? I know who I think, but I'm not going to mention anything. But anyway, there's where we're at now. You know, very good news there. Very good news. You know, I'm not even going to talk about Bruce now until they do the Judy readings. You know, Bruce is very, very positive. Who the heck? Okay. I got to know who the heck did the joke last night and they put the Bruce reading up there.
Me.
No, it wasn't you.
I sent it out.
They put the Bruce reading up there. It was 3 minutes and some seconds. It was Bruce, all his talk about Sue. And I go on there and I lay down on my couch and I turn it on and I'm listening to that. And I'm thinking, well, he's going to get going. He's going to get going about some real stuff. And all it was is someone went and taped the last 3 minutes of Bruce's show where he talks about Sue in the program. And I love Bruce, I really do. But it's time he gives Sue a rest. They've made enough money. And I mean, you know, if he wants to keep going, he keeps going. But see, the whole bottom line here, guys, is nobody knows. You know, Bruce tells us what I believe in what he says about going to the Redemption Center, that we're only going to go through one station. We're not going to go through a bunch of stations. We're not going to go through things where we're going to get, you know, as soon as we get there, they're going to take us in, and as soon as we get in the door, they're going to make us sign an NDA, and we're supposed to keep our mouth shut. That was one of the dumbest videos anybody ever did. And we're not going to go station to station to station. As Bruce emphasizes, guys, we're only going to have so long to be in there. They want us out of there in 30 minutes. They're going to come to us. He does emphasize, make sure you have your currency. Like me and Ron, my brother Russ, which he's not going to the Redemption Center with us. We have 12 different kind of currencies. I've got each one of mine from the most to the least in order. Actually, I don't. I have the dinar and dong on top, and then I go most to least. The reason I got dinar and dong on top is because dinar and dong is the reason that I'm here. That is what we got started with. That is what was going to change our life. That is what was going to give us money. When I bought the first dong, when Ron gave me the money, because I didn't even have money to put in then. But when he gave me the money and I bought first amount, we got talking to our brother Russ, and he says, well, I want to get in on this. Well, you're in on it. What we bought, if we can get the amount they're talking, it'll give us all a nice chunk that we can get our bills all paid off and do this. We didn't even know we knew about, we had listened to Bruce, we had listened to other things.
Will you listen to Frank?
Frank, 26. We had listened to this. We had listened to a friend of mine, Ted Wyckoff, and Ricky Revon, and people like that. But we really didn't know much about it. But then all of a sudden we decided to get really invested. Well, Ron and my brother Russ, they put up some more money, and we ordered a couple million of the dong. Now he wanted dong because he served in Vietnam. Now when he was in Vietnam, when he came home, I said, well, how was it? He said, oh, I was like Radar O'Reilly on MASH. But as the years have passed, 40, 45 years, 50 years have passed, now all of a sudden he's Audie Murphy. And you got to know who Audie Murphy is, and you got to know he's probably the greatest war hero ever. But, it's everybody. Everybody, the older you get, the bigger your stories get. Now, I'm so happy what I just read with my little notes here. The veterans are going to go to the top of the class. The veterans are going to get the beds. The veterans are going to do that. People going to the Redemption Center is going to do. But see, I would gladly give up my spot in the Redemption Center if it could get someone who maybe doesn't have an opportunity to go to the Redemption Center. Maybe they need it. Take care of the people who really need it. It should, guys, it's a one-day thing. What can it take? If there's tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of these beds around the United States and the world, how long is it going to take to get to people who could go on for a while? See, that's what you have to remember. You have to remember they're everywhere. Now, I watched a video today, and this lady's act like she knows. And guys, I started to follow her on YouTube, and when I listened to her video, I thought, oh, she doesn't have a clue. So I got rid of her. Now, it wasn't the one girl that I don't care for. That's we just have to remember we're at the right place.
Sky had a pretty good one on today.
At the right time. I received from a lot of people, John Kennedy, it was on Patriot 5 and 6, I believe Michael, about Phil. Phil had a video. Go to the, I think it was 45-minute and some second mark, and watch it for about 10 minutes, and then he's going to do some questions and answers. And he said some things that I agree with. He said some things that I agree with. What was the thing, Ronnie, he said that you really thought?
Oh, when Queenie died.
Oh, yeah. He mentioned when the Q lady, the old lady in England, when she left us, or when they finally said she left us, that was supposed to be, and you guys, if you remember, we talked about this a lot back then. That was supposed to be the start of the Big N and Big G. But for some reason, as Phil said, they went to Plan B, Plan C, Plan D, E. I mean, who knows how many plans they've had. And that's exactly pretty much what he said. But they didn't. They didn't go to that. So now all of a sudden, she's not queen because she's decided to go wherever. She left us. She died. It was announced. But then her husband became the king.
No, her son.
Her son, whatever. I thought it was her husband.
No.
Whatever. Become the king. And as he said, we all know that he had been gone for quite a while himself. But he said what's relevant is a person that kind of was like doing what someone's doing with the sleepy, impersonation, whatever. what's important is that person that was been doing that for him has left. He's gone, taking the dirt nap. Well, that being said, that is supposed to be the final straw to get the Big N and Big G going. They said there is no getting around it this time. There's nothing that Cabal can do to try to stop it. That was the one part of the show I liked. Then he talked about some other things. Before we go any further, you guys remember, I am not a big Phil fan. I think he's an arrogant person. He did a questions and answers. And boy, the questions that he wanted to answer, he had no trouble. But then he would read these other questions. And he said, I'm not going to answer that. I'm not going to answer that. And someone in the chat comes on and says, if you're not going to answer it, why do you even acknowledge it and read it? He went on and on and on. And I thought, hey, let's go look at the chat. And I go into the chat, and he was not reading a lot because one gentleman come in there and said, I just watched a video with some guy doing shows like this, and he really called you out and told everybody what you are. Now, see, I've heard conflicting reports on Phil, and I'm not going to judge because I don't know. I'm just going to tell you I'm not a fan of Phil. But I've heard reports that he's as dark hat as they come. I've heard reports that he makes things up just to look good. I don't know. It doesn't matter to me because they put this up. They said it was good. I went and listened to it. There was some good points, if they're true. I want to believe what he said about the Big N, Big G, is true. Cold beer confessions, okay. It might have been who they said. I don't remember. But like I said, guys, these are all videos that are on our page. Now, someone the other night, I'm sorry, guys. I've had a really bad week doing things. Trouble with my glasses. I broke them. Got them fixed. Fortunately, by somebody else, because when I took them to the place at the eye dealer, they didn't want to have nothing to do with me. Had car trouble, self-inflicted, but still car trouble. It's so cold here that, it's miserable. And it's been a very, very long week. But a lot of things come through today. I believe you're right, Kevin. A lot of things have come through today, and it just makes it, to me, in my heart, feel like we're getting set up for what we've been waiting for. Like the song said, there's no stopping us now. Don't stop believing. And we haven't. We haven't stopped believing. Nothing's going to stop us now. And we didn't comply. And now we're about ready to reap the rewards. But as Myrna said earlier, the rewards is more than money. It's more than money. And people, I read a little bit ago, I happened to see, someone said 4 to 6 people out of every whatever will never open their eyes. I don't know if that's true. Now, everybody's entitled to their opinion, and you may be right. It may be even higher. I don't know. But I just got to believe that when these people start getting what they're going to get, when all of a sudden, and I'm going to give an example. My daughter just bought a house. You don't think her eyes are going to be opened when she has no credit card debt, her car's paid off, her house is paid off? You don't think they're not going to start asking questions? And see, and I was talking to someone today, and I made the statement, one of the things, this has nothing to do with, humanitarian projects, because we have
No
plenty.
taxes on your check.
No taxes on your check. If you pay taxes, it's going to be, what, 14% on new items only. But I was talking to someone today and I said, one of the things that I think I want to do is for the people who don't have their eyes open. And I'm going to look here real quick and get some names. I was going to mention them, but boy, they were all taken down. Kevin, Michael, Bill, Myrna. Boy, there's a lot of people getting taken down. They're really coming after us tonight. Well, that's what happens. 229 people on here tonight. Wow. 241. 241. But, you know, I believe, and what I was going to tell you, my Telegram channel, John, John Exford wants my Telegram channel. If someone has it, please put it up here. If not, put up my email address for Yahoo, and John, email me at that email address and I will get you it over. It's Patriots, Patriots 5, the 5, forever. Capital FOREVER. I believe that's what it is, but if someone has it, please put it up there for him. But, yeah, 231 now. But I believe that what I want to do is I want to continue doing shows like this. But the people I just mentioned, Bill and Gary and God, there's so many people on here that's getting taken out. JK and the good people on here that's not coming on here trying to cause trouble. You're going to know people. You're going to have family members that are not going to open their eyes. But what if they can come on? And as I was telling, it was Savior I was telling today. As I was telling her, I'll have the money to have a good system set up where I can do questions and thank you. I am a very nice man. I'll have the money set up that I can have a good setup and do questions and answers, and maybe even bring some other people, some of you guys on to answer questions, and we can bring people on that don't believe, and we can show them what's going on. Now there is a reason. There you go. The gentleman that wanted my thing. If when I told you it doesn't work, email me at paycation1954@yahoo.com. Tell me you want my address, and I'll send you an invite link.
Say hello to Susie Q.
Susie Q, hello. Mike Davis, hello. Janet. Man, Janet
Mike
is.
Davis send you pictures today.
There's a guy named Ron Anderson there. Who sent pictures? Oh, yes. Mike, I haven't got in to check the pictures. I've seen it. But it's been a very, very say N-words for $50. So, what else? There was something else I wanted to talk to you about. A video or someone, gosh, Diane sent it the other day. Let me see. Did you guys get that picture I sent out yesterday, that video of my granddaughter where she put all that makeup on? That was hilarious. And what was funny is my daughter didn't get it all off last night. She left some on. So this morning they got up and they was getting ready to take her to the early morning babysitter, and they said, "Let me take the rest of your makeup off." She said, "No, I want to look pretty today, Mommy." She is. Okay, here's something I wanted to read, guys. Patriots Wolverine and Charlie Ward conspired with the cabal to fake the 17th JAN alien ANNUN aka invasion. In return, the cabal promised to finish the RV and give all of the profits to them. The Earth Alliance have arrest warrants out for both. Well, gee, this was sent yesterday. I don't believe it. I sent it to our one and only minister that, we associate with, Mr. Joyce, and he said he would have to know more. But see here, believe me, if it was true, he would have known. So here, I just read you something just a few minutes ago from Wolverine. Now, this was sent yesterday early morning. Now it's Friday evening at pushing 8 o'clock at night, my time, so 9 Eastern. So it would be like in the afternoon, 1 or 2 in Australia. Well, if they got a warrants out for them, they ain't got very good people doing it because they're not hiding. I will say this, there's a Charlie Ward account on Facebook. Do not join it. I did. And I stay there just so I can warn people that this is phony. It's as phony as a $3 bill. So let's see what else we have. Now, everybody is saying that Iraq's money should be where it needs to be by sometime today or tomorrow. They said they can't stop it now because all of the banks have their codes. All of the banks have their money. They're ready to go. And quite frankly, from what I'm hearing, the Redemption Center people are getting tired of being on hold and not getting the chance. There's just, guys, there's just so much. Oh, I seen this name, and it was from Ronnie. He sent, or maybe I sent it to him. I know he sent it to me. John Kennedy sent a video to start it. I already addressed that 45-minute video. To start at the 45-minute mark. But I wanted to talk about what happened to an amazing president. And I'm one that I don't keep my mouth shut when something happens. I stick up for the people I care for, and I stick up for right. Might get me in trouble someday, because sometimes I mouth off to the wrong people, and they might just take a poke at this old man. But you got to do what you got to do. And I'm coming home tonight. My radio is on. And these 2 guys on this sports show, for some reason, they're talking about Senior. You know who I'm talking about. And they're talking about what happened in the 60s, and they're laughing and they're joking and they're making fun of this. And the two who actually did it, was it Lee Harvey or was it the Ruby? And they're just, they are making total idiots of themselves. And they bring this ex-Bears football coach on, and he's given his opinion about this. And there's an expression, and kids, forgive me for saying this, but there's an expression. These people didn't know their ass from a hole in the ground. And as I'm listening, and I swear if I took my hat off and started going like this, I could have sent smoke signals up. I was getting so hot, so I called up there. And I got on to speak my piece, and they said, and you want to talk about what? And I says, I want to talk about you two being the biggest idiots I've ever heard. How can you make fun of one of the greatest men that ever has been associated with your life being supposedly assassinated? Now, when I called in, I did not give my real name, because just in case somebody else was listening, I did not want them to know it was me. But see, I told these people there's going to be some things happening, and they laughed at me. Oh, they went on and talked about it for 10 minutes after, even with the ex-Bears coach, and I lost pretty much all respect for the ex-Bears coach today. He wasn't no good of a coach for the Bears, so that being said, I'm not really losing respect for anything that I really cared for, but it just making fun of him. And when the truth comes out, the one thing I did tell him is being on sports news, you're kind of mainstream media, and you will be going down, or you will be talking about things that only you're allowed to talk about. You're a sports show thing, and you're talking about the death of a great president. And I read him the riot act, but these guys are such idiots that, like I said, they don't know their rear ends from a hole in the ground. So let's see, move up here, and Judy's intel reading. Let's go to Judy and see a little bit more about Bruce here. And I was not going to be on an hour, but we're over it now, so ain't no stopping us now. This is from Judy Bidington. Update as of Friday the 19th of January. Restored Republic, the storm is upon us. Big week. This was needed. Be ready. When the movement arrives, we are ready to go. Together we will drain the swamp. This war is real. Pick a lane. We take our freedom back. Now, before I go any further, I want to talk about that lady that I talked about the video tonight. I read the stuff on the paper. She talked about some comms from the hat and from other people. And when she talked about it, I really wish I had got this written down. But when she talked about it, she really, really went into a major detail about, guys, they're telling us pretty much when it's going to happen. She says, I know when it's going to happen. But if I say it, I might not be around for it to happen. And I understand that. She went as far on an NDA as she could go. And she was very good. Upon awakening, while ignorance is bliss, truth can be harsh. Remember, we stand together. Where we go one, we go all. Trust the plan. Then they talk about it's only wise to have the 3-week supply of food, water, cash, essential items. I am a child of God, the Tabernacle Choir. I'm a child of God. He sent me here. He has given me an earthly home with white hats, kind and dear. Lead me, guide me, walk beside me, help me find the way. Teach me all that I must know to live with him someday. January 17th, a must-watch video. It's The Calm Before the Storm from Fulton. I haven't watched it yet, but I thought you guys might. January 18th, evidence has come out that the company starts with a G, the one that has a FB, U, and the Tube. Mainstream media plan to create a panic of WW3 in order to bury investigations on, who, I'm not going to mention them, but they were terrible, terrible people. One of them is married to a guy, and he is a guy. I guess a lot of crazy HC, and I'm not. You guys know who I'm talking about. 4 shots heard around the world. The cabal was going down. The hat changed the laws of all of Australia is under U.S. jurisdiction as well. So the files are going down to civilian who helped the cabal are going to be charged under military laws. White hats are determined to catch all of them. Big N, Big G secrets on Telegram Wednesday, 17th January. In 1871, U.S. Congress threw out U.S. Constitution. 240. And that's down. All banks have to be compliant by Tuesday, 23rd of January. So they're still moving that out. Thursday on Bruce, one of the strongest sources is saying that we will have our notifications by or before Saturday, 20th of January, or could start on Monday, January 22nd. And that is what the redemption centers are preparing for. We heard from sources in Iraq that they not only do we have an international and in-county rate, but we have Iraq trading that rate internationally about when markets close tomorrow, Friday 19th, about 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wednesday, 17th January, TNT Tony, it will be happening at a moment's notice. The next couple of days is the target. Thursday, 18th January, Wolverine Dubai 1 tiers. Dubai 1, Tier 1 and 2 are composed of 8 platforms. Dubai 2 and 3, Tier 4 and 4B are composed of 86 platforms. We are close by the blink of an eye. Wednesday, 17th January, Holly. Dubai 1 is the main person to go. Dubai 2 is made up of 27 groups. These two groups start the payments globally, and everyone Thursday, 18th January, Goldilocks, Iraq planning on using a limited support system from the IMF and push their economic reforms out on February 2024. And is gold becoming the world's new currency? Yes, we all know that. That's the ultimate goal. We heard from some source, Iraq, they're ready. Everything else seems to be just about everything I've read. So I don't see anything else here that I could read, but I don't want to read because I don't want to get in trouble. Someone asked on Phil's show tonight, and I wanted to say this before we call it a night. We're moving on up there, and someone asked, do they think that silver is going to go to $50,000 an ounce? And without hesitation, Phil said, yes, absolutely. My question is, does anybody happen to know what silver is an ounce right now? Is there anybody that could look it up real quick and see what silver is? I'll talk for a minute or two because I want to make a point here. If someone can, the last I heard is, I don't keep track of it. I don't have any. Curly, you can hang around for a couple more minutes. We're almost done, buddy. If someone gives me a price, okay, 20 some dollars. So someone says 20 odd dollars. Okay, let's say $20 it is right now. Now it's $20 an ounce now, and they say it's going to go quickly to as high as $50,000 an ounce. My question is, okay, 22.64, 22. Okay, thank you. But my question is, if it's $22 or 20 or whatever an ounce and it's going to go to 50, when it gets to 50, is that what we're going to get paid? Or is they going to stick in and say, oh, well, wouldn't this be like the revaluation? You buy really, really, really super low, but you don't get what you got. Everyone here who has Zim, you bought them low probably, a lot lower than the face value. But why aren't we getting face value? Why are we getting judged? Why are they telling us what we can do? If a dollar is a dollar, then everything we have should be a dollar. That's my opinion. And what I tell you guys, opinions are like a rump roast. We all have one. But I was just wondering, are they going to get the $50,000? Because that's a lot of money. You go out and buy 16 ounces of it right now at $320, and you're looking at $800,000. I almost feel like I should go out and buy 5 or 6 ounces if nothing else, but I'm not going to because we got too much to do here. Guys, I've enjoyed doing the show tonight. I think there was a lot of information. I don't have anything scheduled for the weekend with the coldness. You can't schedule anything outside, but this could be the weekend, guys. We could get what we're looking for. So if we get it, I promise you I will post it. But in order to posting it, as long as they don't tell me I can't, I will also come on and do a show. We might do a couple shows before, because if we get it on Saturday, if we get it on Sunday, we're not going to the Redemption Center till Monday or Tuesday. Just keep the faith.
Supposed to be warmer then.
Keep going up. You know, don't let people get you down. I mean, everybody knows I think the world of Patriot Diane with 2 N's, as I do everyone here, but Diane is, I just wish I could reach out and just give her an endless hug, because she puts so much into this, and then all of a sudden she gets some bad news, but she never remembers we're going to get this. We're going to get some stuff. One of the things we may get is the hat. You know, something has happened. Don't worry about it. It's just talk. He's very, very protective. Have a great weekend. Try to stay warm. I know I'm going to try to. Have a great weekend, and God bless. I love you all, and we'll talk to you, if not before, we'll talk to you Monday.